We are back and live and in living color here at Impact Gaming Center for the finals, round 4 of Modern FNM. I am your host, Les Alex, and we are going to see Micah M on Bant Nadu. We saw him earlier against Chris on Izzet Prowess. It is in fact. Both players starting with a Surveil land. Chris had to fetch his into play. But here we go. Bant Nadu, the absolutely cracked deck from Modern Horizons 3, is a combo deck that, in Micah's version, allows him to basically play his entire deck and then make a army of 1/1 plant tokens and then bounce and destroy all of his opponent's cards and then win the game the next turn with an army of said tokens. So, but yeah, thank you all so much for hanging out with us tonight here at Impact. We appreciate everybody who's watching live, and if you're watching after the fact on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell notification icon. We've had a great night of Modern Magic the Gathering being played here. Micah gonna shock and go down and play a Shuko and a Haywire Might and equip the Shuko. And Chris has a bird in play. So here we go. Untap for Chris and a draw step. And let's see how Chris wants to navigate this next turn. He's gonna play a land and fetch, so down to 15 at the very least. But yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out with us. We do appreciate it. If you've been chatting, in Twitch chat, we appreciate you. If you're here on YouTube, make sure to leave a comment and let us know what you think about this matchup, why you clicked on the video, things of that nature. And if there's any other decks you want to see, let me know in the comment section, and I will try very hard to get them on for next week's tournament. If it's in the room, we've got a Unholy Heat, which is going to take down the Haywire Might. Micah going to gain 2 life, because that's what Haywire Might does. Bobble. Get in there. That's a ton of damage. Down to 9. Niner. Was that a 9er I heard? Alrighty. Down to 8 for Micah. Can Micah finish out the tournament? He's been on a heater, absolutely crushing people with this busted Nadu deck all day, all tournament long. Can he finish off the run? And hey, kudos to Chris. He's been crushing it as well. And Nadu entering the chat. Ding ding, 1 activation. 2 activations. There's 2 lands. Micah gonna consult the hand and just play the Hallowed Fountain tapped. We do have a Shuko, another re-equip, but it will not trigger Nadu. Just got a 5/4 flying bird. Chris gonna take a draw step. Does Chris have a way to push through 8 points of damage? It's looking pretty close. He might just have it. Got a mutagenic growth. Ooh, Swift Spear definitely going to be, a piece of the puzzle here. Micah is almost absolutely going to have to block here with Nadu. So we shall see, though, what transpires as we have an expressive iteration being casted. Let's see how Chris wants to play. I can't see what's in there. He will put to hand a random card, and Bloodstained Mire is the exile card. And we'll play Bloodstained Mire. Oh, was it a land? Did he just hit 3 lands? Ugh. That's pretty gross. 15 down to 14. What does Micah have in his hand if he happens to get another turn? Not sure. Flicking his cards pretty relentlessly here. Can't get a good look. Was that Bristly Bill? Might be Bristly Bill. Bristly Bill. Dragon's Rage Channeler, the play here from Chris, and now we're going to get an attack. We're going to block one of the 2 Slick Shot Show-Offs in response, and that will do it, yeah. I mean, that was just a massive amount of power. That's how you beat this Nadu deck. You got to be blisteringly quick. Once they start going, if you don't have a removal spell for the bird, you're not long for this world. But there you have it. Game number 1 goes to Chris on Izzet Phoenix defeating Micah Bant Nadu. That's only game 1, though. We've got potentially 2 more games. Micah will be on the play. Of course, combo decks are always pretty solid. Pretty good when they're on the play. But, yeah, Chris up a game here in the finals, playing for all the riches and glories that come with winning an FNM here at Impact Gaming Center. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us tonight. We do appreciate it. Again, if you're in the St. Louis area, we're located at 49 Ludwig Drive in the fabulous Fairview Heights. So come on out, hang out. We've got 22,000 square feet of room, tons of room for you. We've got board games, tabletop games, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, Star Wars Unlimited. In fact, tonight we had a Star Wars Unlimited pre-release. So shout out to 16 of those players that came up to do battle. Let's get back down there, though. I'll stop blabbering, and we will see if we can find, or we will see if the players allow us to, what they're taking in and taking out. Yeah, just trimming some cards here. This makes sense. Bristly Bill, some Mana Dorks, a Haywire Might coming out for Micah with his Bant Nadu deck. Look at all those tokens. All the plant tokens in the world. Endurance, Volatile Stormdrake. Works are hard. And it looks like Chris going to play a little bit closer to the chest. Can't really quite see what he's got there, but that's okay. But yeah, we're going to be adding more, diversifying what kind of content we make here. So we will be having Star Wars Unlimited content on Tuesdays. If you're watching the stream, we'll have those on Tuesdays. They'll be uploaded throughout the week. We'll have, of course, our modern FNM, which will be consistent every single week. We have Pioneer on Mondays. And that will be used, we'll have the table mic on. I won't be commentating. Oftentimes I'm playing in those tournaments, so can't do both, unfortunately. That's what they told me, at least. And then we also have some CEDH stuff in the woodwork, in the works here. As well as a series called Impact Plays, where various members of Team Impact will be playing for your viewing pleasure. And we'll be kind of talking through the lines and things like that. So if that interests you, make sure to follow here on Twitch and like, comment, subscribe, all the fun things, so you don't miss out on YouTube. And as these players are finishing up shuffling, this is the worst part about paper magic and foot coverage, sideboarding and shuffling. Alrighty. All right, here we go. Micah M trying to take the menace of the format to a 4-0. Chris trying to stop him from doing so with Izzet Prowess. Who's the beat down here? Definitely Izzet Prowess. They're shuffling real good, aren't they? Alrighty, here we go. Hopefully both of them have a strong 7 and we get some sweet, sweet Magic the Gathering action going on here. And I jinxed it. Both players got a mulligan here. Now might be time for the bathroom break if you're watching live. Might want to fast forward 30 seconds if you're watching on YouTube. Everyone's talking Nadu ban, but I'm sort of think they'll errata. I would hope not. Typically, Magic the Gathering doesn't do erratas, right? So we'll see. Move the quotes on card text. Not sure what you mean by that, but what would they errata? Typically, if they errata stuff, it's like little things, right? Like Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, going from you have to untap lands to you may untap lands, right? That's a little thing that doesn't really have a huge gameplay implication. Doesn't change the card on a fundamental level. Oh, I gotcha. It only affects Nadu. I doubt that they would do that, but maybe. Could be wrong. Regardless, there's so many things they could have done differently with the card. They could have made it have a mana more expensive. They could have made it a 3 toughness creature. They could have made it say only once per turn. They could have made it say only Nadu can be affected by the ability. You know, there's so many things. So it seems very intentional. I feel like Wizards wanted the card to be good. I don't think they anticipated it to be 59% win percentage at the Pro Tour good, which is historically good. It's egregious in every way possible. Yeah, I mean, there's no weak spots on the card. Down to 16 as we have a wall of roots. It is quite egregious, I agree. Like, if it was just an annoying deck, and it had an annoying... Obviously, the play pattern is not what most players would call fun. I think that's actually the weakest argument. If that was the only thing, if it had like a normal like 54% win percentage or whatever, fine, let's keep it. But the fact that it has such a high win percentage, the metagame share is going to be through the roof for the coming RCQ Modern season. Like... And here is A 1 ring to rule them all. So that'll enter the battlefield, and Micah now has protection from everything. Draw a card. Misty Rainforest to draw. Endurance, Nadu, Endurance, Misty Rainforest in Micah's hand. Just looking for Shuko or Encore. Chris, on the other hand, doesn't have a rip-roaring start like he did last turn. We'll see if he can change that, though. Does have a Slick Shot in hand. Remember when Slick Shot Show-Off was the hotness in Modern? I do. I remember. Pepperidge Farm remembers. Gonna shock in. Down to 15. Preordain. Gonna surveil. Gonna put that in the bin. Now we're gonna resolve this preordain. Land. Those are probably going to the bottom. Unless Chris feels he needs them. And the preordain has officially resolved. And we're getting in there. 1 ring, protection. I think Chris may have forgot about that, but regardless, we march forward. Draw step. Didn't quite get a good look. We're gonna draw 2 cards with 1 ring. Flick, flick, flick. Misty Rainforest. And is Nadu going to introduce himself to the party? Yes. And here is Nadu Winged Wisdom. And a pass back. And as these players take a look, let's also take a look. Here it is, Nadu Winged Wisdom. This is the card that everyone's talking about. Has everybody up in arms. Nadu Winged Wisdom. Something about these 3-mana Bant cards. It's a 3/4 flyer, legendary creature bird wizard. It has flying and creatures you control. Quote, whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell or ability, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a land card, put it onto the battlefield. Otherwise, put it into your hand. This ability triggers only twice per turn. Twice. Holy smokes. As if that last sentence doesn't even exist. When this deck starts going, it really starts going. But as it stands, Micah is down a game. Keep that in mind, and he's under quite some pressure here. Stomping Ground. Teamer Prowess. Probably for pick your poison in the sideboard. Yeah, only being able to trigger twice also, Rye Guy, is also pretty nuts. Pick your poison. Yeah. Triggering the Dragon's Rage Channeler, and Micah may have responses. Maybe not. So the dice in the middle of the table is how many instants or sorceries have been casted. And Nadu gonna get picked off by Pick Your Poison. Sacrifice a flying creature. And getting into the red zone is Chris. So that's 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 damage coming across here. As Micah fetches to 14. And gets a forest. Alrighty. Endurance. Targeting you. So that will shrink the Dragon's Rage Channeler down to just a 1/1, which means Endurance will be able to block it profitably. Or we can do it this way, sure. So Endurance is going to trade with the Slick Shot Show-Off. Micah's going to take 3 from the Monastery Swift Spear. And yeah, Micah's like, yeah, that's in the graveyard. That card's a beating. 1 ring. Okay, here we go. Down to 9. Activate. Draw 3. 1, 2, 3. Shakes his head. I don't know if he got what he needed. We'll see. Judging by his body language, I would imagine. Well, he drew Nadu. Can't be too mad here. Do we have a way to get Shuko, though? That's the question. Obviously, Urza's Saga is a way to get Shuko, but that's down the road a little bit. On second thought, it just needs a ban. Even with an errata, the deck easily converts to blink strat, and it's abusable. Yeah. See? You've seen the light, right, guy? I'm glad you've seen the light. All right, here comes Nadu. Maybe not. Having second thoughts. We're gonna use the mana from Wall of Roots. Nadu inbound. Sylvan Safekeeper is here as well. That's a way to, in a pinch, target things. And Micah seems to be contemplating it here. He knows he's on borrowed time if he passes turn. Chris has 3 cards in hand and can grow his creatures quite a bit. Now, Micah does have some blockers here. But we are going to sacrifice to trigger Nadu. That'll be a land. Windswept Heath, not what he wanted here. He needed to find Shuko. We will tap 1 green for Delighted Halfling. And are we going to sacrifice another land? No, Micah says that's all we got for this turn. Pass back. Keep in mind, Micah will lose 3 life during his upkeep, so he's effectively at 6 here. So can Chris deal 6 points of damage? Probably not, I would imagine, just because both of these creatures currently do not have flying. Obviously, the Dragon's Rage Channeler could grow wings. If we get Delirious, it's a good way to start the Delirium train. There's another Dragon's Rage Channeler. Will not have haste, though. So for this turn, that doesn't matter too much. Micah just needs a turn. If Micah can get another turn, he'll have his draw step. He'll be able to draw 4 cards off the 1 ring. He'll be pretty much through a third of his deck at that point, which is insane. So let's see, can Chris push through the damage? I'm not even sure what's in his hand currently. Ooh, Lava Dart. Kill the Safekeeper. In response, or trigger Nadu. It triggers on your opponent's spells as well, so reveal. That's a land. That'll go into play. Okay, and that's a good land because he can sacrifice it to draw a card potentially. Gonna trigger Surveil off 1 Darcy. Gonna put that into the bin. Gonna trigger Surveil off the other Darcy. Can't quite see what it is. We're gonna keep it on top though. Chris wants that card. Maybe. No, he doesn't. Unholy Heat. Instant sorcery creature. Gonna sacrifice a forest. Trigger Nadu. Oh, and there's the Shuko. And there you go. And There, we found it. Micah found it. No way Chris can push through enough damage unless he's got some cards up his sleeves. I don't think he's going to be able to push through. And next turn, it should be pretty academic to be able to go off from this point. And just so you all know, Sylvan Safekeeper, sacrifice land, target creature you control gains Shroud. So that's why the Lava Dart did not, well, it resolved, but it fizzled because Sylvan Safekeeper targeting itself made it to where Chris's spell fizzled. All right, and Chris gonna call it, say, you got it, you got a ton of cards. You're going to draw 4 extra cards on your turn. You got plenty of mana, plenty of creatures in play. We're going to go to game 3. Chris is going to be on the play, which is huge in this matchup. But we have the 2 best words in competitive Magic the Gathering. Game 3. 2 best words. So these players are going to sideboard. It looks like Micah is going to sideboard. Let's see if we can see what he's bringing in, what he's taking out. Bristly Bill. And Delighted Halfling coming back in on the draw. That makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. So here we go. This is for all the marbles, folks. Whoever wins gets a ton of store credit. The prestigious honor of going 4-0, and of course their photograph in a Twitter and Facebook post on Impact Gaming Center's social medias. So, and of course, you know, a ton of store credit, like I said. Can Chris take down the Nadu Menace, or will Micah be victorious with the big bird? Both players shuffling up. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us tonight. Again, I'm Les Alex. I make content on the internet. You can go subscribe to my channel if you like Magic the Gathering, competitive Magic the Gathering. And if you're watching on YouTube here for Impact, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell icon so you don't miss out. We've got one more match for all the marbles. Like I said, we got Bant Nadu against Izzet Prowess. Izzet Prowess. Chris will be on the play, so that does matter a ton. But yeah, thank you all so much for hanging out with us. If you're watching on Twitch, make sure to follow. We just became affiliates, so you can give us some of those Bezos bucks. And yeah, it'd be pretty cool if you did. But let's get down. You guys look like they're just about finishing up. So we will declare a winner here tonight from Impact. Maybe not. These guys are just going to shuffle for forever. Alrighty. Here we go. Shuko, some lands, Delighted Halfling. He is flicking through those so fast, I can't even see him. Micah's hand looks good. I didn't quite see what was in Chris's. There's a Monastery Swift Spear going to get in there for 9 and take Micah to 19. Pretty good start there for Chris. Pretty much exactly what you want there. Gonna shock and gonna play a Delighted Halfling, which means we have a turn to Nadu potentially. Lava Dart, the pickup. Another Swift Spear. Bobble, that's going to trigger Prowess, so both of these are 2/2s currently. An attack, I assume Micah's not blocking. Gonna drop Micah to 13. We're gonna see a popped Bobble. Yep, feel. Nadu, Winged Wisdom. Shows us. Shout out, Micah. Chris reading over what Delighted Halfling does. And Chris gonna draw off of the bubble. And here is the Winged Wisdom himself. Alrighty. Well, Chris, you got one turn, friend. Can you, well, one turn until Micah can go for the combo, right? We'll see. Fetch. Down to 19. Down to 17 with the shock. Gonna grab a Steam Vents, I'd imagine. Let's see, if he has a Pick Your Poison, that'd be pretty good. No Pick Your Poison. That would require green mana. All right, here we go. Expressive Iteration. Lightning Bolt. Swift Spear, and I don't know the middle card. I think it's Underworld Breach. Breach going to hand, that makes sense. Could Bolt the Halfling, that would be pretty decent. Yep. First things first, let's get in there. If he blocks, that lightning bolt can take down Nadu. Doesn't know about the lava dart either, obviously. In Chris's hands. Or hand. Well, I guess both work. They are technically in Chris's hands. Flick, 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 flick. All right, come on, Chris. What you got? Well, we know what you got. What you gonna do? This is actually really good because we know that down to 12 goes Micah. Down to 11 goes Micah. So that will eat the Nadu. But now, Micah gets to untap And I believe he has another Nadu in hand. So we could Nadu, Shuko. Gonna shock in, drop to 9. Oh, drop to 5? Maybe I missed something. And there's Shuko. And here we get to start the party. Start your engines. Trigger. There's one activation. There is a windswept heath. And there is the second land. And we are rocking and rolling for Micah. There's another land. Oh my gosh, a Spring Heart Nantuko. So we are going to cast Spring Heart Nantuko. And he has a fetch land available, so that will... Oh my gosh, this is a worst case scenario here for Chris and Micah, just in there like swimwear. Because now he's going to make another token and get to reset everything. Because of this windswept heath. One activation. Flip the top card. We... Don't know what's... We're equipping? What could we be talking about here? Maybe how Spring Heart Nantuko... Maybe we're asking about whether you get the plant token if it's not bestowed. You do get the plant token regardless. Hey, what's up? How's it going? We are in the middle of a Nadu combo turn, potentially. Hi, P. How you doing? So... Chris, just wanting clarification here, I think. It does work the way that we all think it works here. Micah is going to get 3 more equips after this one. Good. That's good to hear. Even on the play, Bant Nadu gets to do its thing. All right, here we go. Ooh, there's a halfling. That's exactly what you wanted. Oh my gosh, and a collected company. So now we can fetch, drop down to 4. And again, Chris is tapped out. So no opportunity for a lightning bolt or anything like that. Just has to sit here and watch. Just like all of us. And that'll make the insect token. As landfall triggers. And we have Delighted Halfling Mana. We're gonna 1 activation. Reveal Court of Calling. And that'll be good enough for another one. There's another land. That one will enter the battlefield and surveil. That'll make another insect token. Keep it going down the line. Surveil, that's a land. We want that one. And twice, reveal. That is a Nadu. Kind of a dead draw, actually. Can cast the second one, I suppose, in a pinch to reset everything. We are going to cord, though, it looks like. Probably for 1. For 2. For 2, yep. I'm a lip reader. Cord for 2. There's another Spring Heart Nantuko, and it's going to get out of control. And there you go. Chris is going to scoop it up. And Bant Nadu in the hands of Micah M. Going to take down Friday Night Magic here at Impact. The menace of the format, Bant Nadu, is going to win. Friday Night Magic here at Impact. Micah going to take down Chris. Bant Nadu over Izzet Prowess. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us tonight. If you were watching on Twitch, thank you so much for hanging out with us for these past 4 rounds. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell icon. Again, I am Les Alex. I make Magic the Gathering content. You can head on over to my YouTube channel, check it out, subscribe over there. That would be awesome. But yeah, subscribe here. We appreciate you all for hanging out with us. Click on one of these videos if you're watching on YouTube. I guarantee you'll like the content here if you enjoyed this and made it this far. We appreciate you. And until next time, we will catch you all on the flippy flop. Have a great night, everybody. Adios.